So the topic that we have for today is if we were to set up a country on moon.
Right. It's a nice one. It's a
good one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Like I was thinking, but like we have somehow been able to reach here. That was a challenge, but yeah, we are here. So let's see what we can do.
Maybe we can lay down some basic assumptions regarding what's already done for us, like transportation of people and resources, not a problem.
That's not a problem.
Some sort of loop gets you there to here.
Yeah.
And the government structures that we can think about, what type of government.
Yeah, that's something we should think about definitely.
The different kinds of pros and cons that we have seen in democracy.
So should we like focus on setting the government? Like what should be the government structure?
We can start with that. That would be a great start.
I think first of all, let's assume that we are the 4 people that have been there at this point of time, right?
Yeah.
And we have let's say we have a portal that only we can open and close.
Mm-hmm.
So that it's our choice.
Yeah,
So we're kind of like the hot celebs at Earth because we come back and be like, hey guys, so we have this method.
We have chosen you.
We are the chosen ones.
Yeah.
I was thinking we are the 4 elders.
I like
That's a good one. That's a good one.
We have been the ancient ones here. Okay.
We are the pioneers of muscanization.
Yeah. Everything. But okay.
Right. So
what even is a country? Like what in your opinion has to be there for it to be a country, our country?
I think so. First of all, we have a very designated place.
Mm-hmm.
Our boundaries are basically marked. Right.
Defined boundary.
It's a defined boundary.
So as we are only present here, should we assume that everything is within our
Yes,
or
obviously.
should we be sensible and have a good region or
Let's not be sensible.
Hey, we are on the moon. Come on.
everything is ours?
I think I got a better one. Let's just take moon as a whole and not take, divide it into countries and everything.
Krish is not compromising on his territory.
No, we are not dividing.
So
Everything is our
what we can do is we'll debate about a government structure on moon itself. So let's start with that.
Okay.
So we can set up a government, but what about like the people that we're going that are going to be governed? Wouldn't the government depend on the people?
Exactly.
Exactly.
So I think let's have 4 elders that is just it. And then below that, let's have a small council.
So we have a hierarchy developing.
But I think that let's try to figure out what industries are we doing.
Exactly.
So that let's say for a portal, what people do we bring, and then let's see how many people do we bring, and based on that we can work on the governance.
Like just we think about that now. So let's have at least a vision or something like
Right. Yeah.
to
Exactly.
achieve probably in 5 years.
Right.
Yes, that is a HR question, but yeah.
Yeah. So what we can do is, like Plato said, that democracy is not the best form of government. It's basically can be an aristocratized version of democracy.
Probably.
So where basically we would have, some kind of tests and evaluations. So to know.
But the decision making should be
Exactly.
They have the weight of others.
How about we call it a vibe check test?
That way more cooler.
So okay, so I think first of all, obviously, like let's think we can be a little more selfish in this as the only 4 people who have the access to this portal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how about like what do you guys value in life? Like what do you want to be there for? Like I would like
Definitely.
going by like probably Maslow's hierarchy of needs. We obviously need to set some things up like buildings and food and water and stuff.
Yeah, that was.
So maybe begin with like
I
the
agree
top
with that
engineers
question.
and builders. Like we need some muscles, we need some brains. Not that we are not enough.
I would say probably we should think about having some fun.
Yeah, definitely. So the best part I would say is that if nothing works, let's say if nothing works, we can always turn moon into an amusement park because it's 1/6 the gravity, right?
Exactly.
So you can jump.
Amusement parks is something we should definitely invest on. That should be one of the
Space hotel, you always...
That would be a regular hotel now, na yaar. It should not be a space hotel.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that if we want to go for a proper industry, like a proper formal thing, so we have both sides. We have the bright side and the dark side that we can utilize, right? So the dark side is giving you unrestricted views of the space. So you can set up telescopes, you can rent it out that space to NASA or somebody who wants to set up a telescope. Or otherwise you can also set up, let's say he said that, we have hotels, right? So we can set up igloos or something, with a glass top.
Yeah, maybe.
That you can the most exclusive
True.
hotel that ever existed, right?
Tourism industry.
So that is one there. That then you have the astrophysics people who like to set up their spaces for to observe, right? Telescopes and all. So that is something that we can utilize the dark side for, and the bright side is for our fun area basically. So anything that happens, governance or
Yeah, basically I was thinking like suppose we should I think have a sensible side and a fun side. Let's get some businesses or industries running on one side,
right,
mentioned, and one for the fun side. So
As the sensible person in this discussion, I would like to propose a sensible venture. I think what we would have now that we have the capabilities to expand to moon, as humans being the greedy species that we are, we should also have one unit that looks at exploring more extraterrestrial places.
Right, right.
That's the thing.
Right.
Let's just assume that we can go from moon to Mars and we are multi-planetary
traveling
species.
capabilities.
That's established. So we were just starting with the moon,
Yeah.
but we also have colonized Mars as well, and one or two more planets you can assume anyone. So we will be starting with that.
Okay.
We just started with one thing like moon, and then we can come to Mars as well.
Right. We have
Right, and that's actually being looked at by NASA. That because moon has a lot less gravity and they found water on board. So what they're thinking is they'll split water and H2 and O2, and they can make moon as a refueling station for interplanetary travel.
Yeah,
because from there liftoff is very easy. So anything, because let's say we have the ability to put anything from Earth to moon.
Okay.
See, it's even possible to have a lift to moon. That's also
That is
possible.
also
So
possible.
what we can do is we can have moon as a sub part of Earth.
So basically, like we should set up.
I
moon
don't
as-
think we want to do that.
like basically, moon should be a stoppage point for
Exactly.
international travelers, intergalactic universe, intergalactic
Intergalactic
travels,
travel,
yeah.
right?
And
That should be one part of our
we
business.
could even have a Earth Parliament on the moon,
Yeah.
and we could start.
Should we give them power?
I don't think so. I don't like that.
They have two USPs so far. One is we are acting like a travel or like experience company of sorts, which is offering like fun experiences on moon. Like
Right.
we have moon as a strategic point in our space exploration. journey.
Right.
What else? How else can we like utilize
Like I was thinking, like,
our
do we have any resources we can think that we can use? The natural resources.
There are
full
many
control over
resources
that.
on moon.
Yeah.
They are very.
And what if, I know the resources is a big part, but on the governments and the part that he was mentioning, why don't we set up let's say a space council on the moon that connects aliens,
From all
Martians, Earthlings together,
As we are we are multi-planetary species.
right?
Number of moons are many.
No, but our moon, because Earth
So
was
for
the
our-
starting point, right?
That's
And I don't think nobody wants to go back to Earth again. So I think moon, let's have it as a UN council, some place where different representatives from other countries, other planets, or let's say aliens can come down, have a proper civilized discussion, and
Yeah, that could
so
be.
like the Dubai of Earth.
I would say that's a very good inspiration.
not
because-
exactly the way Geneva, I would say, Switzerland of the world, of the galaxy, basically.
yeah, that's
Right.
Yeah. Okay, that could be one of the things.
Should be one of
And I was thinking, yeah, but I don't know why somehow my focus is on the food.
priorities, man. I
Priority,
understand.
I know, I understand.
So what should we do for that?
So okay, so now like how do we
let's
start?
assume that
We take builders there.
sorry.
So we take builders there first of all to set up
Right.
houses. Now the builders will also need some essential services to keep them up. So you need
Yeah.
books, you need some entertainment because as Oppenheimer taught us, right? Like I think we can take that concept of how you start establishing a city.
Right.
So that is running in my mind right now that you have builders.
When we bring some people, we'll have to build. I think we should beforehand build these things before calling people. Or
Yeah, obviously. I mean,
yeah.
it won't be fun for the travelers if like, hey, here's a
So I think that one McDonald's should be there. First of all, because they are everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So one McDonald's moon should
moon
be there.
themed McDonald's.
Moon themed McDonald's.
Bro, the amount of advertisements revenue that we can get.
We'll just be expanding
Yeah.
the scope of
Right.
McDonaldization.
We should. I think that should be a source of money. for us.
Yeah,
That
definitely.
escalated fast. Cool. So,
Okay.
Let's assume that we have to build a city as well, right? So we need to have some kind of builders, and I would prefer drones or AI. I trust
Good
them more.
robots.
See,
Yeah,
this
it can-
part
robots
can
will
be
do that.
covered, like we can have pre-built houses and
That's a good idea
Yeah.
though.
they could be short of
That would
If resource transportation is not a problem for us,
Right.
then that's definitely
We
a
could
good idea.
import pre-built houses.
But it should be planned. So
Right.
we have a planned
Right,
setup
right.
there.
Now, okay, so now do you want a permanent population on the planet, or is this a lease system or something?
Subscription
Like, how do
something,
you
right?
want people to
Subscription
stay there?
to stay the
Subscription to stay
That's a
at the
good
moon.
idea, bro. That's actually a good
Yeah,
idea.
for 1 month, 2 months, or 6 months. We can
We
have.
can,
Another source of revenue for us, because see, if we have all the rights over moon, then why would we want people?
And
Why would
And
we
I think
like
we
part
should
with that?
move
So
the discussion to
Exactly.
Mars as well now.
how?
So because we
Like
have
similar,
discussed
similar question for anywhere field us.
Yeah.
What are we talking about the resources? Like, do we get dollars?
yeah, we
Did
can
you
have
think
a
about that?
currency actually.
Yeah.
And then we should get
What is
See,
something
we
that
have
is
Bitcoin now.
valuable all
So
over
What
the
is
can have
something-
moon
what is
coins.
something
Let's
that
have
can be
moon coins.
appreciated every planet?
So that could be Bitcoin, right? Cryptocurrency is a good
Let's
Currency, na?
Nice.
Networks.
Yeah.
So like,
exactly.
so like earlier we used to have gold, which is something that was valued like all over the world, and then it developed into all sorts of systems. But the given our idea of extraterritorial expansion,
Extra
so
planet.
we have something that is like relevant.
Yeah, we can have a
Across the
research
universe.
into another rare element.
Like something which is like appreciated or valued
Yeah.
all over.
Mhm.
I would probably some fuel, some kind of fuel, probably
Probably.
like
Yeah, but it couldn't be traded, right?
like
it's
like just say
difficult to trade though,
exports and
actually,
imports
yeah.
are done, na? Like of uranium, for example,
Like oil.
oil or
We
uranium.
have
But
to have a
that's difficult to
currency as well.
trade, right?
For currency, we can agree upon cryptocurrency then.
Cryptocurrencies will require a network, na?
Yeah,
With other planets have
we
a
have
similar network.
established it.
If we have established, we can do that.
Yeah, then only.
No, or if we are assuming,
Bang of the
if we
universe.
assume,
Yeah.
let's say that we can travel to any place in the universe. Let's say, just say,
Okay.
that's just an idea that I'm putting forward. Then we have planets full of diamonds or something, right? Why not mine that and make diamonds or something as a currency?
The value from of
Exactly.
that
It's
originates from the fact that it is a rare
Exactly.
resource.
So, but let's say we have access to some place, or I'm just giving you an example that we found planets or asteroids having a lot of gold or titanium or
Yeah,
platinum or those things.
So then we have to
Right.
agree upon another mineral which is very, very rare.
What is valuable to us basically? Like, why do we need even gold now?
Soil.
Yeah,
We are on the moon.
Soil.
Probably
As
we
humans,
should
wherever
bring
you
natural
go,
resources.
like you need food to survive. See, if there's a lot of gold or of diamond, I don't care about it. I don't need it for survival. It has to be either water or food or
Something
soil.
which is
Like
valuable
something
to us.
which is valuable to us no matter where we go. Because the assumption of mining also takes the assumption into fact that other people can't go to that place. So
Like a diamond planet, other people should not be able to go to that
Yeah,
planet.
that's
Then
a good
it makes
point, though.
sense.
That's a
because
good
it's not
point.
something that is consumable. So once we bring a certain amount of quantity, we're increasing the overall supply, therefore diluting the price that exists for the same.
So you're thinking soil, but that is
yeah, it
tough one to
can't be
I mean,
tradable.
But
I'm
with
sorry for
Earth,
the One Piece reference, but I think something.
It's a very good
Genuine
argument
idea.
about soil. But the thing is, it should be
Like
it
it could be
needs to
credit.
be something that is tradable in
Could
a
be
small.
like water credits or soil credits or like
That
quotas.
I think we can establish, as you mentioned, any currency we can establish
Yeah,
like that
we can
can
do
use to trade in the future as well. So
and wait, trading with Earth with
Probably
soil is, I
yes.
don't think,
suppose
Not
not sustainable.
if somebody wants to advertise, suppose on our planet, then what is the currency that they should give it to us? Probably.
Yeah,
Hmm.
How about some? So
I was thinking, if we have so much power, do we really need anything? We can get
Hey,
anything
but
if we want.
let's say that we have intergalactic travelers.
That is possible. Na?
We have to have some sort of exchange system.
Yeah,
that
let's leave it that we have to have some kind of exchange system. Other interplanetary talk we should have.
okay, so as
What are the other species valuing?
but also as a thing, like we're four people. Like let's think it from like a little more self-centered perspective, if I may say.
I
As
like
four
that
peop-
approach. I
As
like
four
that
people
approach.
on moon, what do we want?
Okay.
Like what do we want from other planets,
Absolute
other
power.
people, Earthians?
exactly.
Absolute power.
But how do we get that power? Na?
Like that's what I'm saying. If we set up
What
a,
is something
a
that
place like
what
Switzerland, right? That has absolute power.
But then you also need to like protect yourself because like four people with all these parts, you need some sort of defense systems.
Right. So I think we should first-
That should be our next priority. Like while we need to protect this.
In exchange,
exclusive technology
exactly. In
that we
exchange of all the resources or advertisement we could give, we could ask for all the weapons
Yeah.
from the Earth. Like if the countries,
No, but
if they can give it to us.
yeah, that is a good
And
point.
we can
though.
We could denuclearize the world. Guys, we're like peace ambassadors at this
That is
point.
also, we can,
How would you denuclearize the world? Because they can even shoot nuclear missiles into the moon itself.
Yes,
But how? Hey, but look at
huge source of revenue for them. Nah.
Yeah.
So basically, why would Netflix and Amazon relationship is there? Like Netflix is using services of Amazon. So why would they destroy their own
That is
most profitable business?
So we could enter into probably agreements or partnerships with governments, which gives us access to their weapon and defense systems that we use in exchange to
of
give them access to like their own.
If they want to
portions where
establish
they can do R&D and
And I do believe that, let's say we have intergalactic civilizations, let's assume that. Or something similar to, just give me a second. So something similar to like we have on Earth. But if we look at Switzerland, it's supposedly the most neutral country,
Right.
and it doesn't participate, and it brings a forum of connecting people together.
True.
So it doesn't need to, it doesn't get involved in war.
That would have been the ideal situation if we would have been good people. So now we are not Switzerland.
Why do you think like it was able to attain that position and maintain it? Like you have to go at the core of that, and Switzerland has actually participated.
let's expand
not
the
saying.
scope of
Suppose
the
it-
conversation and let's say I have Mars, you got Moon, and you
Why do I get moved?
you can get another planet.
Sure, no, okay, okay, fine.
Please take it.
Just
Take your pick.
just expand your horizons into this.
Please?
So take a pick.
Suppose.
Take
Okay. I was going to say Earth, but I forgot.
a pick.
No, I mean Earth is a like okay. Then we also need to consider, is our biology evolving at the rate? Because if not, then Earth still remains the most valuable
We are
planet
just
that we have.
expanding the conversation.
Like suppose
into that.
if our focus was, I was saying to build a colony on Moon, focus. So we have to be, make it habitable.
Let's finish. the
Actually,
movie
yeah.
first.
That's
Everything we need to avoid in this conversation, that was what
Like habitable in a
That was
sense,
just
like
for transport.
too
and, like,
sustainable. Like
Yeah.
how would people survive on the
we
planet?
are assuming that it's already sustainable in other planets.
only
Sustainable,
transport
like,
has been
I think let's
like
discuss how to make
moon.
Like
water and the
like,
food and
bring people over there.
yeah.
But what will they do over there? Like
Yeah.
something like that.
They reach and then they die.
See, let's have some ground rules that sustainability has been achieved. Everything is there.
I think we can discuss about it.
Because
Very
that is
good.
exactly what we discussed in the start.
Hmm.
That these things are already there. We don't have to
What
discuss on
we
that.
established was a transport link that lets you take people and resources to moon, but that does not mean that you have necessary systems or technology.
Like
We can talk about
governance
discussing that.
systems and all are
for
not there.
example, initially, you might even need classes which teach training programs which teach people how to walk on moon.
Exactly.
Like that
yeah.
would be a starting point.
Yeah, that would
So
be
that is
it.
these are
Exactly.
things
Like the
that
people
not
are there.
established yet.
So now
People are
what
there and sustainability
we have built a
is
colony,
also
we have built houses over there.
okay.
We are assuming that entertainment systems are also done. Food
How
is
did we take care of the gravity problem? Like, did we come up with some technology or something?
yeah. I think we should
I think
probably
we can
assume that part that
yeah, Darwin takes care of that part.
I mean, we have evolved to breathe and do something probably.
Or we can say we are evolving. We are just acquiring ourselves to that.
But
and-
breathing is not a problem. Let's
Breathing
say.
is not a problem.
But gravity is
Gravity, we can't deny gravity. You can't deny gravity, right?
Yeah.
So you have to have it there.
But then again, our bodies will change.
Mhm.
So
we are
what we
subjected
can
to-
do is,
Yeah.
So training programs.
Yeah,
for,
training
uh,
programs are a great.
3 month or 6 month rehabilitation program for the new.
oh, what? I'll just something out of my mind.
Mhm.
You know, what if you just tie weights around people?
That is fine.
Maybe some suits or something.
So-
like
Suits,
so
very
just-
thin suits or probably invisible suit or something. like
Suits,
that.
add something with a weight that mimics Earth gravity. Why not? You know.
Why not? Yeah.
ISRO and SpaceX have very nice suits. That are
Yeah, they have very thin suits. Exactly. I was
Yeah,
thinking.
they
But
are very.
they don't look cool. Well, they look cool in that sense. But I was
So
thinking,
Indian
like,
fashion.
Not as it really thin.
if you guys have seen Harry Potter, no, they have a bubble mask over there, something like that,
Yeah.
which is like that just doesn't allow you to escape and still be able to breathe.
Oh, I see. I mean, if you're at Harry Potter, then why not have magic?
Yeah,
Hey, but
definitely
I think-
we have a big portal in front of us.
Hey,
What
but
more
let's
magic can be?
only have that assumption that we have a portal.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
And
it. Like,
That's
let's do
it. That's
some
it.
work, guys.
How do you? Yeah, exactly. Let's do some work.
Yeah.
And how do we build
Exactly.
upon that?
What I was imagining was something like So when you have air conditioner systems that go around with vents and something like that, so maybe something like that, but which works per gravity. So that at least indoor spaces that we construct,
Like a vacuum chamber or something.
yeah, some systems which balance out the gravity part of it. But when we have to travel outside, then maybe we can have something like hyperloops or something like that or moon taxis.
Probably underground.
Right. But I think what we can do with the gravity part is, being a more realistic thing, that let's layer the floor with some metal and have a magnet below it. And let's have our shoes with with a metal sole. So basically, you're pulling down the person with some
just
force.
wear those.
Yeah,
That's
that's a good solution.
That's a good solution, right?
At
So
some
for
point,
gravity, that
Like it will be able to match the gravity of it.
Embed you with those
Probably in
Ha,
our
ha.
souls we can embed them.
But
When-
I-
souls.
But then we would have that problem that we have with flying cars. What if the magnet goes out? And you have to-
No, but I feel that that's a very doable solution.
I like
That anywhere you go, you can have a small, as in floor with a magnet there, and shoes you can just put metal shoes, as in with a metal sole, thin metal sole that pulls you down.
And
Yeah.
going hyper on that idea, we can have magnet for shoes,
Nah, sliding.
Oh yeah.
Having to slide over it.
Obviously, there are a lot of different
We can have
let's
that.
say, upgrades that you can have to use.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good idea though.
Exactly.
If you want to slide your way to the work, slide your way to the work.
Slide your way to
New
work.
culture. We only slide our way to the work.
No, but you know,
to work.
Yeah.
actually,
Jump
so
or
it's
slide.
like
We can
skating
have
or
it
roller
all.
skating. yeah.
Chalo, theek hai.
Okay, so that is
So
sorted.
that's solved.
That's
Breathing,
sorted.
we already have
Breathing, we have.
gravity solved. Food problem, Devesh wants a McDonald's. What else?
Definitely some
You
kind of
carry some
problem.
Hey, but I think
In the beginning-
being more realistic, I think that we have water on the moon, or let's say we can bring water from the earth, as we have that
So
photo.
we're decomposing. We're combining hydrogen and oxygen to
So we are able to
Hydroponic.
Yeah,
We can-
so we have the
So we have
hydroponic.
water harvesting farms,
Yeah.
let's say.
We have
Ah.
water, okay.
We have
We
water.
have water, and we can have hydroponics
Yeah.
to grow our own food, because
Yeah.
let's be as self-sustainable as
we can.
possible,
Mhm.
Yeah.
so that when we trade with other
People we have.
we have a leverage.
Right.
We're not dependent on them.
So we have tiny robots making us food. What else?
Our robotics is a thing that we
So robotics is actually
I was thinking like that. You mentioned na ki, like what in the future if you want to trade with some other planet and they don't have that thing which we value and we don't have. So what is something that is valuable across the universe?
I think if we're considering the concept of humans going to other planets, then it will be
Maybe
Depends
there are
on
other
the
species.
evolution of it.
Maybe the other species.
other
are there.
species as well.
Like I was thinking Guardians of Galaxy style.
So I think I feel that you go anywhere, you will need a lot of fuel.
Fuel, right?
Right.
Weapons I was thinking, but I was not sure.
I was
And
thinking about
not only weapons, nuclear is not only a weapon.
It's an energy source. as well.
Ah.
It's a very high.
So that should be a thing we should develop. Like we should have some kind of
Exactly.
nuclear power plants.
So
should buy
basically nuclear fuel is something that we could commoditize
Yeah.
for our
And coming to that point, moon has a lot of tritium, that's H3, that is used for nuclear fusion.
Right, right.
So let's say Earth has not been able to make nuclear fusion work,
Exactly.
but
Maybe
if
we
we
can do
have
that.
aliens coming in from other planets, definitely nuclear fusion is a
We were
thing.
thinking like it should be a stop of some kind.
Ah.
So we could have fuel.
So we have a atmosphere of
International-
tritium.
Yeah, so tritium would be our.
Is
And
a
since we have
tritium is
control of the moon, which has tritium,
right,
that's a good plan. I like that plan.
right.
Yeah.
So nuclear
and then they
fuel
can
is
get more kind of nuclear energies, like
Yeah.
anything which they can of that sort, they can give
And
it to us.
another thing
and we
that
can
I
give it to us.
wanted to talk about is like we have UN on Earth. So in interplanetary, so we have to have a UN for the universe.
Basically, yeah, that's
right.
I agree.
So in that form, how do we make UN better?
I was also thinking about how
Because we at this
Yeah,
point, sorry, to cut you off.
no, sorry.
So at this point, we have in our hands an opportunity to make a really,
Yeah,
good
powerful.
UN. So because UN in today's world is
Yeah.
not.
I was
that's
thinking
working.
I have some kind of a different opinion about UN.
Okay.
I think there's just a group of people who don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Say something.
Exactly,
That is
exactly.
what I
But
want.
that is because they don't have any absolute power.
Yeah.
So if we decide to
Like for
become the
That is
powerful ones, we have to be a level above them.
But yeah, I don't.
There's a reason
Should
for
one-
that.
yeah.
The reason is sovereignty of nations is
Exactly.
countries. So
One
but
country
this-
cannot be more powerful than other countries.
Yeah. what we can have in the UN for the universe is basically it could be tied to human laws. So we don't have to have sovereign rules for Earth and Mars. We can have one set of rules for every planet.
Right.
So we can take
That is
it on that foundation.
That is customizable, yeah. Possible.
My question here is, who calls the shots on things? Like, we have rules and everything in place, but if something doesn't work out, like, are we taking our existing judiciary practices there?
Not at all. We need.
I think we call the shot, right?
How much do we trust each other as well?
And that would be
That's a good point.
But basically, yeah. So
I think between 4 people we can agree that
I think
if
we
we-
should end the debate on this. Should we trust each other finally?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Hey, I feel that if you have so much of control and wealth,
it is
then
possible that in future.
4 people, I don't think we can have a lot of problems, right?
I think we should kill off each other after some point of time.
I would like to vote to kick Devesh out.
The UN Council works like that, na? Like we can say that every year on rotation basis, one person will be the leader of all the 4.
That's a good idea,
that's a
actually.
good
So one person will.
And hope that you don't kill me before my rotation.
So every rotation you have to, well, all 3 people will be in any other place. You don't know about the location of other 3. And that person will have all.
Yeah, I don't think that is necessary.
I think maybe we can also play on our competencies as something that which we offer, which others don't have. That is why we have come together to form this strategic alliance.
Right.
So,
What are we good at?
Devesh, what do you want to take up?
I was thinking about taking care of this, the food business.
as expected.
So, Minister of Agriculture.
Everything of the natural resources, maybe if I can.
Right. Resource.
Take that.
Right.
Not
okay.
only agriculture, he is into new found recipes.
Definitely, culinary development also. I'll take that. New kind of food from
Moon specific culinary.
Moon
I think
specific.
I will be able to taste all of it.
Divisha, so what's your take?
What I would like to do, I think I would like to take the entertainment fun sides of it, how to make life on Moon enjoyable for everyone, make it an attractive destination itself. So like kind of like the ambassador for Moon.
Oh, nice.
That's
That's a good idea. We need an ambassador.
The
there,
face
right?
of Moon. The dark face of the dark.
That is depends on the response of the person. If we are showing too much power, then we
Yeah, I can see hate posters coming up, but yeah, I will take that out. What about you?
I think we should conclude at this point, and the concluding remarks could be that we can agree upon a UN like government where rotation basis we can have power sharing agreements on that, and we can also have better say anti-torture and
Yeah, definitely.
Well, if we have the power, basically. So
exactly in that.
True.
That's a
So, so to summarize, like the governance and legal side of it, you're taking care of.
I can do ops and I can do tech. Yeah, tech for sure.
Yeah.
So, and I would like to go into international, intergalactic relations.
Yeah, that's
Possible.
that's your agenda. buddy.
that is fine.
Yeah, Devesh, after food, anything.
That is fine. I love.
I think
That's enough.
this
That's
food
enough.
is good enough.
You guys can leave the planet to me and leave. But yeah, that would be fun.